Hi, Allison. How you doing? Thanks so much for getting your work submitted. So let's go ahead. This is it. I mean, I think this is just it works. It works. I mean, it's it's very much. I think it's obvious that this is the flag, so I don't think we need any of this, the stars or any of that other stuff that we had in here. I think the concept of including his writings from speeches in the letter forms that compose his name and then shaping that and coloring it into a flag. I think it's a good concept. I think it works very well. Creative extremist, that's working. I think that's working pretty well too. I'm more concerned about the kerning on creative extremist. I mean, your letters are really super wide everywhere. It almost seems like this has probably even been tracked wider than default. But we definitely want to close down some of those spaces. Really wide kerning in especially in this first four letters in creative. Actually, all the way through. I think the E, X, T, R. It's all just really super wide. I, S. Look at that big space right there. Look how close the E, M is as compared to, let's say, the I and the S. Just really super inconsistent kerning there. So I would definitely recommend taking care of that. Let's jump over to the back. I think the back it's proficient, definitely. I mean, the only problem I'm having with the poster itself at this point, honestly, is there's no real visual connection between the front and the back of the poster. So in other words, there are no visual cues set up here for which to apply to the back of the poster to create a good visual harmony and a good continuation from the front of the back to the back of the poster. As far as the back of the poster itself goes, I think the timeline, I would have liked to have seen a proper timeline. I mean, this is basically what we have here is just a chronological listing of events. Okay, so this is not a proper timeline per se. I mean, a timeline is something that is, let me see if we have, it's a visual graphic. Okay, this is a timeline right here. And if you take a look at some of your other classmates' examples here, that's a timeline right there. Beautiful timeline right there. So you see what I'm saying? A timeline should be some sort of a visual graphic, almost an infographic type approach, so that you can assist the viewer in working through the timeline with some visual engagement that corresponds to the general concept and the general methodology of the poster itself. So, for example, if you were to have taken this, okay, and then if you, let's say you do a timeline and just use a flag, or use flags, or use a flag, just use a series of flags, and then so you have on the back of your poster you have a flag, and then a flag, 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 and then the bottom of the flag, maybe you have the entries for the timeline, or the top of the flag, or however. But the point is that it's a visual information that's used to compose the timeline, as opposed to, as I said earlier, as opposed to just listing events chronologically. I think one of the things we have going on in the back of the poster is this kind of dichotomy here, white and black. And we talk about connotative meaning, and we talk about connotations, and I think that that this white and sorry, that's my dog right over there. It's just getting a little restless. Sorry if you heard that. That was him. I promise, not me. Anyway, we talk about connotative meaning, and I think right here, this kind of black and white, this demarcation here is a little jarring because, Martin Luther King was not about black and white. He was about the lack of creating separation based on black and white, or any race, or any gender, or whatever. Do you see what I'm saying? So my point is that right now this is adding this kind of really very profound separation here between black and white, and I just don't. I think the connotation there is a little bit misleading, as he was not a man that was creating separations based on black and white. So why have this separation created based on black and white in the poster? I hope that makes sense. Okay, typographically, just a couple of things here. Your rags really need to be adjusted. And you guys are probably so sick of hearing me. You guys are probably so sick of me hearing about rags. And I want to drill it in because your rags are going to get looked at. Definitely, your rags are going to get looked at. in your portfolio and in moving forward. So that's why I'm really, really harping on reg. But these definitely need to be adjusted, right? This is a widow right here. That's another thing that's not going to be looked on favorably is that widow. Other than that, I think, typographically, I think you're looking good. Of course, I prefer old style numerals and small caps, most definitely. But I don't see those here. So if you want to get in there into your open type menu and try to apply small caps and old style numerals, I think that would be fantastic. All right, great job. Any questions at all, please let me know. Thank you.